San Diego 6 News in the morning.
Coming up this morning, shocking news regarding bankruptcies and the state of California.
Why one attorney says it happens more here than any other state. We're going to sit down with him and find out why that is.
Welcome back. I'm joined by Jason Jones. He's the principal attorney at Avatar Legal. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Today we're talking about something very important, bankruptcies, and specifically in California. Tell me about the surprising information that we're now learning.
Well, you know, California has the largest single number of bankruptcies of any state in the nation. We have about 1.5 times the national average for states of bankruptcy filings. And while we're starting to see a reduction in the number of bankruptcies in many states, that's not happening here in California.
So why do you think that is? You know, we all know it's extremely expensive to live here, especially in San Diego. But why are more people filing bankruptcies?
You know, I think you've hit it on the head. It has a lot to do with the cost of living. It has to do with the fact that our local economy hasn't really recovered much. The housing market especially, we were hit particularly hard, and it really just hasn't started coming back yet.
We want to get into the misconceptions regarding bankruptcy. You know, a lot of people may feel, you know, this is not an option for me, it'll destroy my life, but in reality, not really the case. You know, what are the biggest things that you see when it comes to people in bankruptcies? Well,
that's right. Bankruptcy it's really a rehabilitative process. It's there to help you. It's not there to punish. And I think a lot of people, when they're in a financial situation, there's a lot of guilt associated with it. The most important thing to do really is go out and get the information. Talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about. Figure out what's going to happen, what the positives and negatives are. It generally is, for people in that situation, it's generally better for them than they believe.
I know that you were telling me that the biggest thing that you don't want is someone to come to you when it's too late.
That's right. You know, and the issue is usually with respect to retirement accounts. People with 401ks or IRAs, if there's a big pile of money sitting there and they're struggling and they're trying to make ends meet or pay the bills, they'll dip into that account, and that's the last thing you want to do. It's going to be perfectly safe if you end up in a situation like bankruptcy, and that's your future.
A lot of talk about this morning. You know, if people are financially struggling, we have some questions. Someone wants to know, can I keep my car?
Yeah, absolutely you can. That's not true if you've got a fully paid off Lamborghini.
Right.
But, you know, generally the process will allow you to keep a vehicle, even a fully paid off vehicle, up to around $20,000.
Okay, someone else wants to know, will I ever be able to borrow money again?
Yes, you will. In fact, most people, north of 75% of people who file for bankruptcy, their credit score is actually higher a year after filing than it was before, and that has to do with the amount of debt they had and their recent payment history. After the bankruptcy, there's no more debt. They're a much better lending target because the lenders know they're at the top of the list to get paid. And the recent payment history has been solid for a year because they've fixed the underlying problem.
That could very well be the biggest misconception about bankruptcy, is your credit score will actually not be impacted as much as if you don't file, you know, if you're in that sort of situation.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, are my friends and family going to know about it? That's another question.
Yeah, it is an embarrassing situation to have to go through. Generally the answer is no. I mean, it is a public record. People can go and look it up. But how many people are out there looking at the bankruptcy records to find you?
Right.
The people who are looking at it are generally your creditors. Your neighbors aren't going to be notified. There's nothing that's posted out on your front lawn.
Right.
So.
Bankruptcy in front of your house. Okay, well, I lose my retirement account. So another question for you this morning.
Right, and the answer to that is almost always no. You know, you might if you have $50 million sitting in an IRA, but for the vast majority of us, the answer is absolutely not. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are easily protected in bankruptcy. Leave it alone. It's not for rescuing you right now, it's for your future.
Okay, well, we want to thank you so much for being here. You know, such helpful information and really important to anyone who may be struggling financially, just to know their options when it comes to bankruptcy.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. We want to thank him for being with us today.